this time on Whatever We Want, we talk about
The Mandalorian Season 3. Spoilers major. Huge big spoilers ahead. There are time codes down in the description if you like to jump around to different points in the episode. Full season spoiler review / reaction. We talk everything from what this sets up in Ahsoka to Jack Black. Enjoy! Welcome back to Whatever We Want. We review content across all mediums and media, movies, TV shows, video games, and beyond to give you the most interesting behind-the-scenes insights, storytelling techniques, all that jazz, and more.
We go over everything from Disney, Marvel, DC, Star Wars. Without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Hello, Daniel. It's been
Jake!
a long time
Oh my
since I've
God.
seen your beautiful, beautiful face.
You too, dude. You too.
It actually does feel really nice.
Yeah, I know, right? It's been so long.
So as we've been talking about in the past couple episodes, like we recorded ahead of time because my friend was coming out here and there was a lovely trip, like a kind of mini vacation for me, at least from the podcast and from work actually. Like
Yeah.
I took off. And that was amazing. That was incredible. I cannot speak highly enough about the trip. But because of that, we recorded early and like Daniel and I go through these like withdrawal periods whenever we don't because we record every Saturday.
Every Saturday, dude. And like every time a Saturday passes where we don't talk to each other, I'm just like, this feels wrong.
We're just like itching. Like sometimes one of us usually reaches out like, "Hey, buddy, how's it going?" So it feels good to be back because we. I think the last time we recorded, I think we said was like April 1st, and it's now April 22nd.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And that's not a joke. April Fools, dude. I'm just excited to jump in and talk about a lot of things that have happened, and then just like Mandalorian. I think we tried to not talk to each other about the stuff we're talking about like beforehand, and it's tough when it's like a TV show.
But it's so hard because The Mandalorian, and we want to talk about it.
Week by week, you want to talk about it. So now we get to unload, release the beast. Are you ready to release?
It's gonna feel like a great piss. Yes.
Yes. So, okay, let's just jump in then. What did you think overall of season 3?
I thought it was a good season. I'm not going to say great or amazing. I'm going to say good, right? And it had its moments to where things were dry or could have been done better.
Unlike a great piss.
Yeah.
Those are usually pretty wet.
But no, like you know what I mean? Like there's some people were talking about like filler episodes and stuff like that. And technically they're like everything has importance, but like the way that it was done was kind of like I don't know.
Yeah. I do want to talk about those.
Yeah.
I mean, we would obviously, but like,
Yeah.
for just my overall thoughts, this was my least favorite season of The Mandalorian.
Agreed.
But I just think that's because the other two were so good. Like, I don't think this was like bad TV.
Yeah, no, it was still a really good show. But the other two seasons
knowing
were
the
like
two before it came, I was like, it could have been better.
Yeah.
But there were still great elements to this. I think it has good aspects, tons to celebrate. I think the pacing, and I know that's a huge issue with you, and I think you've kind of wrapped me under, like I've started to like notice that, but the pacing was a big issue for me in this season. Like the overall arc was, I think, again, building towards Gideon and like that finale, the big Mandalorian Wars. And I didn't really see it coming too much. Like they were hints at it, but if you told me in episode like 5 or 6, which was like 2 or 3 episodes before the finale, that the finale would be like this giant Mandalorian versus ARC Trooper jetpack battle in the sky on Mandalore, I would have not believed you because like I don't think they built to that at all. And like Gideon, like he didn't like show up till like episode 6 or like something like that, or like the post credits of like episode 5. Like they hinted at like he escaped, but like I don't know, like it felt like the other few seasons were like all building towards something, even if there was some mystery as to what that was. Like I knew something was building towards that. And this one, because of those, what people will call filler episodes, it felt like it was kind of all over the place a lot of the time, which I didn't mind all the filler episodes like on their own, but as a part of a greater story arc, like it felt like there was like, I kept comparing it to like Clone Wars, where there's like mini like
literally,
arcs and, like one episode was like a Clone Wars arc, which I do love that in Clone Wars, but I don't know if that fits in like a live action series where it's only 8 episodes. Like you don't have those like 20 episodes where you have like a few episodes where you can spend on like a Martez Sisters arc or something like that. You don't have that time, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I totally agree. I think since we're talking about so much, I think we should get into what we both consider the fillers. For me, because it's mainly 2 episodes, but really it's
Jack Black and the pirate. Or wait, you can also say. Oh, sorry,
I say the pirate.
Also.
Actually, I think the pirate episode was actually
pirate is kind of tied in. No, I that's my thing. I liked what people were calling filler episodes, the pirate one and the Jack Black one. I really liked that. Like especially the Jack Black, like the mystery, like of chasing this droid down and trying to figure out
that was epic.
Yeah, I really like that, and we'll talk about that. But I think people are most excited about, and this was my least favorite episode, was the Coruscant episode.
Yes.
Episode 3, I believe it was.
Yeah. I feel like there's so much that they could have, like they wanted us to care for this guy, and then they like lobotomized him. So I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that story beat, just like that, the importance of that, like, hey, the doctor's no longer an asset. Like, that could have been done so much quicker, so much simpler.
And I think they were also setting up that this girl, like the other Imperial that like betrayed him, is like has infiltrated. Yeah, and it's like pulling the strings. And the only payoff it had, maybe there'll be a payoff in future seasons, but the only payoff in this season it had was in the pirate episode when that X-Wing pilot came and was like, hey, we need help on this Outer Rim planet. And she was like, maybe not. And like that was the only payoff. Like, and we spent a whole episode setting up that one little like line of payoff where like I wouldn't have even needed her to explain. Like, even if just like the regular guy was like, no, we can't do that, I would have been fine. Like with that explanation.
Yeah.
Like you didn't need to have a whole episode of like, oh, the Imperials have infiltrated. That's why the New Republic's bad. Like, no, it just every big empire, like Republic, whatever, is corrupt in Star Wars. That's like the lesson of Star Wars.
So
yeah.
I do like. Oh god, what episode was it where we had the Grogu flashback?
That was episode 4.
4?
That was one of my favorite episodes because that had a lot of Mandalorian culture, and I think that was when like Bo-Katan saved the Foundling, and then also we had the flashback with Ahmed Best, the actor who played Jar Jar.
That's why I want to talk about too, because that was so nice to see him come back, but also as oh god, what was his what's the character that he was playing?
I don't know, because this is around the time my friend came out, and so I stopped like paying attention for a while, and then like had to catch up afterwards.
But there's like lore with that character. Like I don't know if it was based off of, like another show or something, to where like he does stuff with like training younglings and all that. So yeah, so it kind of was fitting that he was the one who got Grogu out. But beyond that point, I thought it was epic seeing him again. But here's what I think they should have focused on for this season, since we're talking about this, right?
Yeah.
The focus for this season should have been the growth of the character of Grogu, which it kind of was, but it wasn't in totality, right?
Yeah.
When I say this, I mean, compare Grogu that we see now compared to the Grogu we had like beginning of like season 1.
Yeah,
what I mean?
I actually
Huge
wanted to talk
growth.
about that. I like the arc. Grogu. I don't know. I just had a really bad thought. Like, that's what Grogu calls, like, his penis is growth goo.
Yeah, no.
Girth goo. I don't know. Anyways, we're back to the tank. I literally just lost my entire train of thought. Oh, yeah. No. So, Grogu, my big issue, I think, this is also what I want to talk about. I think a big part of this, and this growth that could have, that like, it happened in Boba Fett. Like, I think if those episodes were in this and we saw Grogu, like, just like training and then decide to turn away, and then he went from turning away from the Jedi all the way to becoming Din Grogu in the same season, that would have been an incredible arc. But because 2 of those episodes were just randomly in Boba Fett, it felt like they were split up and this arc was like incomplete.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, it was, and then even throughout the season, like this last season, it was kind of spaced out.
It was like treading water.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Like, because I've heard rumors, and from like my buddy at work that's also into this stuff, that like, and it could be true, I have no idea, but like I think like they're treading water before Ahsoka. Like I think Ahsoka is gonna push things forward with the Rebels and Thrawn, and I think they kind of got Grogu and Din Djarin to where they wanted them to be, and so they kind of had to like put in this Mandalorian plot, like I don't know. I think another one of my issues is like. And again, I do like a lot of things, but I'm just pointing out the flaws because the first 2 seasons were so good. I want to hold this to that standard.
Same standard, yes.
But I think the first 2 seasons were awesome, and because like this Mandalorian was like this mystery guy, he was like so separate from everything, this like lone wolf, and now all of a sudden he's like interwoven in all of the Mandalorian like culture and lore, and it just feels really different, which is fine because characters grow, and I totally get that. But it's like, I understand why like Bo-Katan is like woven into everything, but like Din Djarin just kind of like happened on, and is now like the glue between everything, and it just kind of like felt like it just happened. I was like, when did this happen? Like, when did this shift? He was like off on his own adventure.
I'm completely fine with that because at the same time, at the end of the day, he's a man of principle.
I'm kind of okay with it, but I'm just pointing out the change.
That's no, I totally get, like that's a good point to point out, like that there has been that change, but like I mean we see it throughout. Like the reason why he is the glue is because he is a man of principle.
DeLorean.
There's also
sorry, there was one point where Carl Weathers' character, I can forget his name, but like the leader of that planet, he lets all of the Mandalorians come to his planet and like set up camp, and then he calls out Mando like to Din Djarin, but I'm like, You can't.
Why wouldn't they all
Mando
just like
now? Yeah, like all that'd be funny.
they all turn
do
their
the
head.
14 meme. Like,
Which one?
yeah.
Oh man,
I thought that was funny. I noticed that in the moment.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, but I feel like we've been crapping on it. Do you want to talk about some things we did like?
Yeah.
What did you think of the finale?
I liked it a lot. I feel like the ending where the ship was kind of like last second. I feel like, especially from the concept art, that they originally planned for a much larger space battle. Because like the concept scenes at the end of the episode where I think what they were planning for was actually to show a lot more of that battle. And then
I would have loved that because this episode was short. Maybe they like ran out of time or budget or something like that. Because this was like a 35-minute episode, and I was like, bro, this is the finale. What?
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it would have been epic if they did add that. And then I don't know, it's just so I saw this TikTok the other day or yesterday where it's just like, why would you like crash your ship into this base sure all that your enemies are at, but also all of the last like the Mandalorians
like the
are
forge
there.
and all like
like, all that as
and also
well.
like their history but yeah, they were like they've got jetpacks, they can get out. But I guess that was like a quick way to like wrap it up and get rid of that base. Yeah, I don't know though. Like it felt like the last 2 episodes were kind of like rushed. Like everything just kind of came together at the end. Like, oh, there's this secret base. Oh, Gideon's like back. Oh, Gideon is getting forces from this secret council that we've never heard about. And again, I think there were a lot of great aspects that just felt a little rushed to me, but I did like the aspects if I'm ignoring the pacing of how rushed it was. I thought it was cool that, again, Grogu's entire arc over all of seasons, he started out as this like helpless foundling, youngling, and then he's trained a bit and has like grown attached to the Mandalorian, and now he at the end is the one that like does that force bubble and like saves like Mando and Bo-Katan. I did like that visual imagery. That was pretty cool.
I did. I think it was pretty dope. But also I've been seeing a lot of memes too where like Kanan's
comparing
like,
to Kanan.
Yeah.
Kanan's just looking down in heaven.
What?
Like,
You could do that?
yeah. And it's funny because it's like Dave Filoni's like the same creator of both.
I know. Okay, well, I mean, there's the meme answer, and then there's like the legitimate answer. You know, like his midichlorian count's higher, bro. Like, come on, you can't. That species is just going to be. They're more attuned to the Force.
They've gone through the genocide, the Yoda genocide theory that we have never explained on the podcast. Exactly. And we need to one day.
We definitely do. But like that just goes again. The whole moment was to show like Grogu's connection back to the Force, and that's another reason why like I feel
Grogu's growth. Grogu again.
I'm not going to try to alliterate that. I was going to come up with something. It was really dumb. Anywho, but you know what I mean? Like this is something like, along with like you haven't finished. What was it? Fallen Order?
No. Is it the new one, Jedi Survivor, out?
It's either coming out soon, like really soon, like next couple days, or it might be out now. Yeah. I think it's gonna be out a couple days. I don't think it's out yet. But my point is, in Fallen Order, we get a similar story with Cal, right? With him. After Order 66, right, he disconnects himself from the Force and like all of his Jedi training and all that, and then growing into understanding who he is and all that. And I feel like this was such a beautiful way to see it with Grogu as well.
Yeah. Did you hear the Gideon mustache theory?
Yeah, so that he's the one in the armor is a clone.
So
who would shave their mustache, man?
For people, for people that are like, what if it's like it was actually him? It's just like that like. Helmet like just really irritated his mustache when he had it, so he like shaved it before or something. I can
see that.
No, but like so the theory is Moff Gideon, all the past appearances we've seen of him, he has a mustache, and in the like cloning room we see all the clones do not have mustaches because like I mean they have hair, but I guess like they haven't grown facial hair. I don't know why, but all the clones still have mustaches. And then the Gideon that we see that fights Mando in the finale and Bo-Katan and then dies during the ship crash, he does not have a mustache. So people think that he was a clone. The real Moff Gideon's still alive somewhere.
Here's my only thing to counteract that is because he laid out
one razor. That's my counteract.
No, because like he laid it out like the whole point of the cloning, which is to have like him with the Force.
With the Force. But maybe this was an earlier version that like didn't have the Force. It was
that's
earlier
a counter argument, but
counter. Yeah. All right,
but
I think they still. I mean, they also just prove that they have clones of him. So even if those weren't the only clones, if there's clones in other areas, then
yeah.
Like I feel like also the big point is like the atmosphere in Mandalorian is like really treacherous to like travel between. I feel like you wouldn't put all your eggs on that one basket where you might not even be able to get these like really delicate clones off world. There's probably other locations that he has clones stashed, you know?
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah.
It's like the logical thing to do, you know?
Yeah. I did like how he became Din Grogu at the end. That was pretty
that's
cool.
something I wanted to ask you about. What do you think about the first name being the surname?
I thought that was interesting. It would have been like Grogu Jaren.
Because we have Bo-Katan Freeze, right?
And
so,
what
like,
is her?
So she's from House Freeze. So like Mandalorian wise, like you like technically have it.
Well, maybe it's because Yoda speaks backwards, and so she knows that, and she's trying to like help him out later in life or something.
Oh, that's funny. That's literally the perfect answer.
Oh man.
Oh my god. But no, I just thought it was interesting that they did it that way. So that means Din Djarin's technical first name is Djarin?
Maybe it's because he was like a foundling, or it's some culture thing, and like
that
he's
is
not.
true because he's a foundling. That could be different. Yeah.
I don't know. I think Din Grogu sounds cool. Grogu Jaren. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that works. So I think Din Grogu works better.
Did you see the videos? I've seen a bunch of videos about the significance of the circular wipe at the end.
When he...
Have you seen that?
You mean like when it's Grogu and the frog?
Yeah, Grogu and the frog, and like it's the last shot, there's like the circular like wipe to black, and then it holds for a second, then goes down.
Yeah.
So I've seen a bunch of videos that apparently like every trilogy so far, the end of the first movie, so like episode 4, episode 1, and episode 7, ends with a circular wipe at the end.
Yeah.
So this could be signifying this is the end of part 1 of the Mandalorian saga, and like part 2 will start with Ahsoka, maybe.
Interesting.
That's just a theory I've seen floating around.
I would definitely think that would be a thing. So
yeah.
But that then raises the question about what are we going to see in the future?
Well, I think we saw Ahsoka. I think Ahsoka's going to be the future. I think at Star Wars Celebration, I, again, haven't looked too much because I've been away. I think I saw announced that they're doing a Dave Filoni directed live action movie where it's like down the road, where it's like the culmination of all of these post episode 6 Mandalorian events. So that could be what it's building towards. I think that could be cool.
Tasty.
Yes.
I think that'd be pretty cool. I'm happy that Mando finally has like his own cabin.
His moment.
Yeah, dude. He can now rest a little bit, you know?
I saw a video where I think like the chair he's sitting in like looks very space and Star Wars-y, but it's just like a chair you could get off IKEA Amazon. Or something like that. Yeah. Pretty cool. You know? Space IKEA. Spikea.
Yeah.
Sounds like a spy. All right, let's go through some of these other episodes. We talked about the finale a bit.
Yeah.
And we talked about episode 4 as well a bit. The Foundling. Where do you want to jump to? Like episode 1, I guess?
Yeah, let's just go from the rip and then go from there.
Let's call it. That was episode 1 of season 3 was chapter 17, The Apostate.
Yep.
That was just kind of like a big setup episode, I feel like. I feel like catching people up that if you didn't watch Boba Fett, like this is what happened. He had his ship, and so they also had the Rebels hyperspace squid, like space squids in that one.
Oh yeah,
shot.
the Purgle.
That didn't come back, but I guess maybe that's hinting towards Ahsoka. I feel like a lot of this season, like maybe some of my issues might be answered in Ahsoka and like later.
Yeah.
Again, kind of treading water. They also mentioned Cara Dune. They said that she was like recruited for like some New Republic mission, which is why she's gone.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I really remember. It's been like 8 weeks since that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it was set up. That's all it needed to be.
Yeah. I would have liked if the Boba Fett episodes were in the beginning of this. I think it would have been cool. And I think they could have done it because I feel like a lot of it was, they went back to Tatooine and like saved Boba Fett, but maybe, I don't know.
Michael Boba Fett, no, I'm just going to say it was pretty bad. It was really bad.
Yeah. What do you mean, Daniel? They had the Power Rangers in it.
The writing for that could have been, I'm going to say it, they really did that character so unjustly. Like, very unjustly. Because, like, from the comics...
Boba Fett?
In the comics, he's a freaking badass. He is a bad ass.
It's also interesting because, like, I feel like Andor, I want that to be the standard. It's, like, so good. I watched another video essay on, like, how good Andor was, and just they were pointing out some things I haven't really thought about in a certain way, and I was like, that's so true. And, like, it's just so good.
Yeah.
And I think I'm more the audience for that. I might not be the audience for, like, Boba Fett or even this as much anymore. Like, this, it kind of feels like it sways a little younger, but I don't know. Episode 2 of season 3, chapter 18, The Mines of Mandalore. I did enjoy this episode.
Yes.
it was really dope seeing. I think this is the first time we saw Mandalore live action, right?
What do you mean?
Like the planet Mandalore, right?
No, we've seen it before. We've seen it on the Night of a Thousand Tears. There's been like flashbacks to like when it gets nuked.
Okay.
Technically.
Oh, right. Well, this is the first time we spent like an extended period of time.
So we have technically seen it, you know, but like
I guess post nuke. This is the first time we've seen.
Yeah. Post nuking, yeah.
Post nuke. Okay. It was cool. R5 got some more time this season, time to shine, especially after he was snubbed in episode 3. R2, that diva took over from him.
You mean episode 4?
Episode 4. What did I say? Episode 2?
You said 3. I'm like, Revenge of the Sith? Like,
yeah, I don't know. But what did you think of like the creatures? There were like a lot of like barbarian type like creatures underground.
Because it felt a lot like old school stuff.
But like whenever they went back, like that like was gone. There were no like creatures anymore. You know?
Well, you can also explain that with the Empire base there. Like they're, you know, scared them off or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That was a good episode. It was cool again seeing, because I think this is the one where Mandalorian got captured, and then. And
as soon as he got captured, I knew that's how they're going to deal with the Darksaber. Like, oh, that's how Bo's going to get it.
Oh.
It's like I knew that whole
by
thing
the transitive property.
Yeah,
I now own the Darksaber. It's like it's literally like freaking in Harry Potter when like the Voldemort kills Snape, but it's like actually Draco was the one who disarmed Dumbledore, so it's actually his, and then Harry disarmed Draco, and so now it's Harry's. Like,
yeah,
it's like just stretching it a little bit. That's cool.
Well, no, because there's another technical line that, oh my god, because the Darksaber's technically supposed to belong to somebody else. I forget who.
Well, now it's broken.
Well, yeah,
I want to talk about.
we'll get into that, but like I feel like it's supposed to belong to Luke technically, because Vader defeated somebody. And then
I think I saw that. Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah, anyways. Yeah, but they destroyed the Darksaber. Do you think they'll get it back or like make a new one?
No.
That means we're not going to see freaking
I saw this
Satine live action with it. Dang, that kind of sucks.
You mean Sabine?
Satine? Yeah, well, I mean Satine's dead, so we will not see her live action.
Yeah, so I was like Satine, she's not coming back. No, I was thinking and I think this is a good idea if they went forward with this, cuz the Darksaber itself is broken. But in theory, you still got a good kyber crystal in there. So it'd be cool to see Grogu.
Make like
yeah. And then that would become like the new age of Mandalore.
I could so see that, like they come back, like when Grogu's ready to like make a lightsaber or like make a weapon or forge something, he like goes back to the wreckage and like finds in the rubble like the kyber crystal, or like it calls to him or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be sick, dude.
And not to mention, we're also getting back, I believe it was a Ahsoka trailer, we get the I forget his name. It's the droid that makes all the lightsabers, or guides all the Jedi Padawans to make their lightsabers.
Oh, I don't know.
It's that droid that looks like he's got like the things on his, like the chops, kind of.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about? He's got like the weird head. Yeah.
Like most droids. Yeah. That's cool. Din Grogu, dude. All right. So we talked about the what's it called episode, the convert, the Coruscant episode. Mm-hmm. I've heard actually some mixed things of it. I heard some people were like, oh, it reminds me of Andor because we're back and it's kind of like this spy thing. Like, I like that. And a lot of people were like, this doesn't fit in The Mandalorian. So, like, I don't like it. And I understand both sides. I'm more leaning towards, like, doesn't fit into the overarching story, so I don't really...
It could have been done much simpler.
Like it, but as, like, a standalone, it was interesting.
Yeah, as a standalone, I think it would have been great as, like, a one-shot, but, like...
Like a one-shot? The whole episode's a oneer.
Well, okay, no.
I'm just kidding. I know what you mean. like a few scenes versus a whole episode kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe like intercut within the Mandalorian story.
I will say this, however, the beginning part before we got to Coruscant with Mando and Bo, when they
jump off, that battle was sick.
Dope, dude. When he dropped out and like had to like land on his to get to his ship. Oh my god.
And I feel like people are gonna forget that because of the rest of the content of the episode, which is unfortunate because it's like such a good.
It was so epic, dude. I also, dude, the way that I love this, like when she would put her fins up to do like a full like air brake, and then the tie went. Yeah. Oh my god. Yes.
We should talk to Mr. our physics professor about the physics of that. I've wanted to have him on for a while and talk about the physics of like Star Wars and like why did they bank in space? Because it looks cool, man. All right.
Well, I can actually tell you a little bit of that if you want to, but we'll do that later.
It's another time. We talked about the Foundling also. I'm just jumping through these first few because I feel like we talked about them. There's some episodes we haven't talked about too much yet. I think the pirate. We haven't talked about the pirate too much, have we?
No, we haven't.
We had that Zeb cameo.
Yeah, we did have the Zeb cameo. Dude, that was freaking dope.
I thought he looked really good.
He looked amazing.
Yeah, I'm here for that character design.
It's funny because like my parents talk to me, but they're like, "Oh yeah, there's that big purple guy. I like the purple guy." I'm like, "You don't even know. You haven't watched Rebels. You don't even.
We
know.
watched all of Rebels before Obi-Wan." I'm so glad we watched that though, because like I would have been so lost in all of these things. Yeah, it's cool that they're tying all of this back.
Yeah,
that was a good investment. I like the pirate design.
The pirate's first mate is Shmi.
I know, he looks exactly like Shmi from
like
I was gonna say Harry Potter, Peter Pan.
Yeah,
Captain Hook.
So I thought that was a pretty funny tie-in. But yeah, dude, I agree. I think the costumes are cool.
I thought it was so sick seeing, because this was like one of the first times again this season that we saw like all the Mandalorians come down and like fight to save the city,
do stuff together
versus the pirates. Was so sick. And I like the like swamp thing kind of creature design of the pirate. It felt like a kind of like a live action Clone Wars episode. And I enjoyed it
like that
on its own.
Yeah, that's why I don't consider that one filler, because I feel like it actually had a good purpose in that sense of like, hey,
and it let the Mandalorians like
the Mandalorians working together and like we're working collectively for something, which is a base.
Also let Carl Weathers like add to why he wants to let Mando stay there. Yeah. Oh, we also need to talk about the fact that like the future Mandalorian is gonna be like working for contract for the New Republic.
For the New Republic, yeah. Also, people are going crazy about one of the helmets, but we'll get into that later.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I did see that. All right.
Yeah.
Next, we've got the Guns for Hire episode, Jack Black. Mm-hmm. Jack Black's episode is what I've been calling it. I really enjoyed this.
I like this episode a lot. Technically filler for the most part, because really the only goal of that was so that way they could literally just talk to the other Mandalorians.
Yeah.
But the investigation and all that, and like also the cameos was pretty cool.
I loved them chasing the battle droid through the city. I was like, this is so sick. And I love the callback that like Mandalorian knows some of the customs of like the Ugnut culture because of that time he spent in the first season with that guy. Like, this is the way. I thought that was really cool.
I've spoken.
Yeah.
But no, dude, that's one thing I loved here too, is the connection between Bo and Din. Because like we're able to see like they have like a unified respect for each other. They might not always agree about like how to approach the situation, but they both know at the end of the day they'll get it done. It was just cool to see like that dynamic.
I feel like Bo is usually the more like level-headed, like let's talk this out. And this time she was like, "Listen to me, you stupid creatures! Like, give me what I want." And Mando was like, "Hold on, I have spoken." And they were like, "Ooh."
He has spoken with the Riz.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, dude.
That Ugnut Riz.
I really like the super battle droid too. And
it looked.
Yeah.
And freaking Doc Brown is a separatist. What the heck?
Yeah, like what the heck?
Yeah, and Lizzo was also in this. She was Jack Black's. Jack Black had a good week because Mario and this episode of Mando came out at the same time. I was like,
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I still need to watch Mario, by the way.
You haven't seen Mario? Oh, dude, I saw it. I saw it with my friend that came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta see if I can see it with Evan or
my roommates,
Nikki or somebody.
It's doing well. Like, for me, I think it's really fast paced and like a lot happened. I would say it's Despicable Me still my favorite, and then Mario. That's kind of the level, and we've talked about our rankings of that, so that might give you a gauge.
Yeah.
The spies. We got Moff Gideon's new suit. Oh, we haven't talked about IG-12, the Grogu's suit. I thought that was really cool and a creative way to bring that back and just have Grogu not being floating around in a ball for the whole finale. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked how it was pretty funny too. How quick he was able to get it, and then already start wreaking havoc.
No. I love that. Like when he broke those two Mandalorians up. I thought that was actually a pretty cool moment when they were like, all the Mandalorians are like, we can't step in. And Grogu was like, I can.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man.
Someone should do like an angsty like edit where it's like Grogu like going like this. And then it like cuts to like the trash compactor. And it's like, oh, look at the parallels. Like, or something. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
That'd be the worst. Like, there's no significance between those. Also on that council in that episode was Hux's father, I believe. Like General Hux's from the First Order, his father. Yes.
Yeah. It's cool that they actually brought that in, too. I'm not sure if you've seen the stuff from the comics as well from that. But the dude's like a major asshole. Yeah. Pretty sure Hux kills him.
Wow.
The Hux we know. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say they're both Hux. He kills himself. Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
I could be wrong on that, but yeah.
I think it's cool and it's interesting. Like, I'm starting to see how like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were trying to like explain retroactively, like somehow Palpatine returned. They're like, okay, this is how they're experimenting with clones with Force abilities, and like we're getting to that technology. Here's Hux, but we're trying that all in together. So that's how Palpatine returned. So I could see what they're building to with that, which is interesting.
Yeah. They're trying to recover the sequels. Which is
that is a tall order.
Yeah, no, really, it is.
Oh, last thing I wanted to talk about, like per episode, is in the finale. The armorer freaking just whacking people like midair with her like, clubbing people.
Yes, dude,
was so sick. I loved every shot that I saw of her. Like that was cool.
I also love the maneuvers that the other, the blue, I forget what house they are. Mandals were doing, like when she like went off and like slid on that one deck and then like went under.
Did her knee rockets?
Yeah. Like, oh, dude. Yes.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yes. Also, like I've been seeing all these things too for the final fight. It's like a family that power slides us together stays together.
Oh yeah, because they all do it, and it's like it's so funny seeing like Mando slide it, Bo slide it, and then like Grogu like kind of puppet like slide in. Any other like last minute thoughts on the individual episodes, like beats you wanted to touch on we didn't talk about?
Well, let's talk about that helmet thing we were talking about before.
Oh yeah.
So that helmet in the final episode, people don't know this.
It's in the bar, like where we saw Zeb earlier. We're talking to the X-Wing
it's like top
pilot.
right when it's like so it's like all the trophies that they have up there.
And Grogu gets like the IG helmet.
The one that's next to the IG helmet is like this broken up, clawed at looking stormtrooper helmet. And it looks like it's hinting at pretty much Star Wars zombies. So there's a story to where there's like this pathogen that some imps were messing around with, and then they get zombified, and then it's really, really bad. I think it's more of a hive mind in that case, but they still act and move like zombies.
Interesting.
So it's technically more like the Flood in a way.
Cool.
But yeah, but you didn't know I knew about the Flood, Jake, huh? Might not have played Halo, but I know the lore.
All right. So, future predictions. Did you see the Ahsoka trailer that came out during Star Wars Celebration?
I think I did, but it's a little bit fuzzy.
I think that's honestly what the future is like for future predictions. I think this is gonna lead right into Ahsoka. I think honestly, maybe the way it'll work, because I feel like Ahsoka is more tied in to the New Republic, maybe because she was part of Rebels and like said it like she was a freaking whatever that spy was. She is tied into that, so I think maybe if Din Djarin is a contractor for hire for the New Republic, maybe that's how they'll tie together.
No, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that.
They better do the Thrawn Oregon theme. That's all I ask for.
Yeah, no, they really. Well, here's the thing, right? Because when it comes to Thrawn, it's not just going to be him. We've already seen the organization of the Empire coming back with like their little council thing, you know.
Yeah.
So, but there's still sort of resources. They're still trying to like come back. So, it's going to be tough to see how things transition.
Well, there's that one planet or one guy that like has a bunch of resources, and I wonder, and I think maybe that's where Starkiller Base is being built potentially.
Could be.
Maybe that's what has all the resources currently. I've seen some back and forth on Twitter about like how some of the Ahsoka trailer, there's like these guys that have like what at first glance look like red lightsabers, but they're more like an orangish hue. And apparently people were asking Filoni, like, is that just like you wanted to change up the red a little bit? Is that supposed to be red? And he was like, no, they're like intentionally like a little more orange flavored colored. So, and we know the significance of lightsaber colors. So maybe, I don't know what that means.
It'd be interesting to see if these were like synthetic crystals that like cause them to have that. Because like, I mean, technically every red blade is altered as
a broken crystal.
Well, it's not necessarily broken, but it's bled. But
yeah.
So, but it'd be interesting to see if these were synthetic crystals that were then bled, or even if they're just synthetic in general. And that could also go into depth too about like who these characters are, because they don't seem to be Inquisitors, at least from what we can tell.
Who do you think you are?
So it's very interesting to see like how do they relate now to this? Because this is the one downside to this, right? When you're going back and like writing in characters and stories in between like all these other events already like done, is you want to add in characters like this, but then you also have to make it make sense. Like why were they not doing other things?
Why weren't they in future things? And so they can't be too big of a bad, but they have to be big enough of a bad that they like are a threat, and it's like that fine line.
Yeah.
All right. I want you to rank the Mandalorian season's least favorite to favorite.
Least favorite to favorite? Okay, let me get the list up here so I can have direct look. Okay, so what was the one number 3 with the
I'm talking about the seasons. The seasons.
Oh, the seasons. That's where things get tough because 1 and 2, they're very close. This is definitely the
least favorite
season
to
3.
Favorite.
I know season 3 is the least favorite. Like
I agree, and it's because there was no Bill Burr. I was just thinking, like, what is the difference?
Well, dude,
Bill
honestly,
Burr was not in this season.
That was one of my favorite episodes when they both went undercover on it. Like, dude, that was so freaking. I love dark.
Bill Burr's. I'm like not a fan of Bill Burr. Like I'm
really
a fan of him in this, but like I'm just like I'm not. Sorry, I'm just like I don't want to say I'm not a fan. Like I'm anti Bill Burr. I'm just like I didn't know much of him before. Yeah. I'm just like kind of like indifferent to him.
Yeah.
But
he's a funny guy.
I really liked him. Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff since then. He's pretty funny. But I love his character in Star Wars. Like I think he is a fantastic character in this universe. But yeah, maybe that's why I didn't like it. And maybe also now that Andor's come out, I'm like subtly craving some more content like that. So
you want more dark
maturity. Yeah. I don't know.
So season 3 is gonna be last.
Yeah.
Again, it's still great, but like it's doesn't meet the SS tier of
the first 2. Yeah. So what's your second favorite?
This is tough.
These two are very close, and then there's a bit of a gap in season 3. I agree. I need to probably rewatch them.
I have to say season 1 would be yours? Next. That's my middle.
Really?
But here's why. Okay. Because the more I think about it, the more things work in season 2. Season 1 is amazing for preposition, getting things set up, and it did really well, obviously, in like defining the character and how we're getting this relationship between him and Grogu, right?
Yeah.
But season 2 like builds on that in every way possibly perfectly. Like there's been so many ways that they could have messed it up, but they didn't. You know what I mean? Like we got to understand like the relationship between Mandu and Grogu much better. Like how they feel for Mandu. Grow man.
True man foo.
But and then ultimately all coming together with us seeing Luke again, dude. Like
that was incredible. You are kind of swaying me a bit, but I actually had it switched. I had season 2 as my number 2, very close, and then season 1. I think just the excitement of like it's the first like just freaking Disney Plus show and like Star Wars show and just finally some Star Wars content. I think I'm relying a lot on like that initial feeling of like having no expectations but just being excited at like how good it was as it was coming out, and just like what the heck, there's like a baby Yoda and like everything, and just how like removed he was from everything in season 1, and seeing the start of that arc of him like being this lone wolf to starting to care for this creature, getting that set up. And again, that's continued amazingly in season 2, but I think just season 1 I would put it a little bit above just because of how different and amazing it was. But I mean, season 2 though was still so freaking incredible. Yeah. Like when he took off his helmet in that base with Bill Burr, that moment got me. And then Luke at the end, like the finale was fantastic. Boba Fett tie-ins, like it was. Yeah, it's extremely close, and I might flip flop depending on the day. But right now, I'm gonna stick with season 2 as my number 2. Season 1, my number 1.
And here's the thing: both opinions, either way, you can make good arguments for, and both are extremely valid. It's like it's hard to go either way, you know?
Yeah. Should we attempt to rank the episodes of this season?
Sure. You go first this time.
All right. My last one is the Coruscant episode, episode 3, chapter 19, the Convert. It's just at the very bottom. And then there's like a significant gap. And I was like going through all these and I was having trouble like ranking them, but like
the mid area gets tough, but yeah.
Yeah. What's your next one?
I'm going to actually say whichever one was it that the kid got taken, the foundling.
What? Really?
It's tough, but yeah.
That's towards my top.
Really?
Because like we got the Ahmed Best like flashback, the Jedi flashback, and then just like all the Mandalorian culture.
That is true.
Maybe I was just so excited that the Coruscant episode was over and we were back into Mandalorian. Maybe it just like
probably
skewed me.
But no, I'm like comparing it to the other episodes, and I'm like, that didn't systemically add too much. Like we had a rescue mission. The best part of it, in my opinion, was the flashback with Grogu and all that.
Yeah, I had the. Maybe we won't do it in a definitive order. We'll just kind of like talk through like our general ranking. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But my next one I had actually, I thought the first episode, the apostate, maybe it's just because I haven't watched it in a while. It just felt like a bit of setup / catch up if you haven't seen Boba Fett. Not much happened
after that. And again, because it's just that it does set things up. It does like catch you up But no, so like again, it's like you just said, it was set up, it did its job, but it didn't really do, it's doing its thing. You're not gonna have anything crazy in episode 1. So with that said, what's your next one?
My list is so bad looking back, but you might have convinced me to pull down the Foundling a little bit. I think I was swayed because I was just like, yes, we're back after the Coruscant episode. Mm-hmm. So maybe I'll put the Foundling here. I really like the Mandalorian culture we got. Carl Weathers directed it. We got the flashback with Ahmed Best as Jar Jar. So my episode 4 is like kind of floating within the next few around here. I also had the pirate in this episode around here. Yeah, like the pirate episode.
Really?
Know? Yeah.
Yeah, I can get that. Looking things over, yeah. I can get that.
Pirates were a little cheesy, but I enjoyed it. It was just like
I liked it. It was fun. I feel like at this point now with the ranking, like things are getting better.
Yeah, just kind of wishy-washy, and there's like a lot. So I had Guns for Hire pretty high. It was like my 3rd or 4th one.
Same.
Just because I really like the mystery aspect of it. Like again, I don't like that it didn't contribute to the overarching story, but looking at it just as itself, I really liked that episode.
Agreed.
Then what's your top? Let me ask. Was yours the finale?
It's either the finale or the mines.
I have the mines as my like one of my top. Yeah.
Those two are like pretty on par with each other.
It was just really cool seeing him explore Mandalore for the first time and getting captured.
It's like everything, like the character designs, the stuff with the R5.
Yeah. I think I had like the spies and the finale kind of like interchange, like pretty close because they were pretty similar episodes. They were the same director also. I think I learned after the fact. And they were a little quick paced, so it was kind of like that was kind of higher mid for me. I think that's them all.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this was tough to rank because none of them were like bad in my opinion, except like the Coruscant episode. I would say. Yeah. But none jumped out as like crazy good. Like I feel like last few seasons I could think of like okay
specific ones that were like
like the
crazy.
one where Grogu's like on the top of the planet and like Boba Fett and Mando were teaming up to defend, like that was a standout. The season 2 finale was a standout. The episode with Bill Burr and Mando infiltrating the Imperial base was a standout. I didn't really have any of those episodes this season.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yes.
Yeah,
I concur with Bill Burr.
Yeah, I stand with Bill Burr. Where was he? Justice. Just kidding. In case he does anything like horrific, please don't take that out of
Jesus. Oh my God. No, I think he's too lazy for that kind of shit. He doesn't have time for that.
Are you ready to jump in the next segment? Any other final wrap up thoughts for Mandalorian? We're excited for season 4 or Ahsoka or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, man. I think we covered majority of everything.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
you ready for so right before we stopped, we did a new segment called Food for Thought. Then there were a few weeks that people could comment their Food for Thought suggestions. So we are finally getting around to that. On our D&D movie review episode, Zach Henry said, in Australia, I don't know if it's the same in America, you're either a tomato sauce / ketchup person or you're a barbecue sauce person. So what one do you guys prefer?
See, this is the thing.
It depends on what you're eating.
They're different utilities, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got a hammer, you got a wrench. They have different jobs, right?
You could technically hammer using a wrench.
You can't
wrench using a hammer.
It depends on the hammer.
Depends on the nut.
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like if it's a pulled pork sandwich, I'm not going to put ketchup on that. That requires barbecue.
Right. But I think
those people are wrong.
So what, but if you could only choose one, which one?
I think ketchup is there's more utility.
Versatile. Yes, yeah. I completely agree. I respect both for their respective uses. I completely agree with you, but I think more times than not, I go for ketchup more than go for barbecue sauce, just in my general diet.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right.
Fries, nuggies, anything else that needs dip in.
Do you do ketchup on eggs?
Eggs? No.
I don't, but a lot of people do. Or like I do hot sauce more on eggs, I think, like a little bit if I'm putting anything.
I don't like putting anything on my eggs. I just do eggs.
I usually don't, but if I am, like if they're like really like bland eggs that I'm given, like when I was working on set or something, then I try to put hot sauce on it.
I see.
Just to spice it up, literally.
Yeah. I was going on a list of the things you do with ketchup. Oh, burgers sometimes, hot dogs, stuff like that.
We could do a whole, I feel like, sauce food for thought. I have some intel. I went, this is a continuation of food for thought. So my friend, when she was out here, we went to this pizza place that my roommate recommended. It's called Pitfire Pizza. Highly recommend you go if you're ever out in LA. And they did this thing where it was like a 4 for $8. So 4 sauces for $8, like $2 per sauce. It was a little steep, but it's LA. But they had 4 sauces that you could dip your pizza in, and they were incredible. We literally went back to Pitfire 3 times while she was here. She was here for 10 days. We went 3 times to Pitfire Pizza.
Dang.
But they had like standard mozzarella, like tomato sauce that you could dip in. This this house chipotle, like that, it was chipotle like Thousand Island sauce. That was really good. That was one of my favorites. And then ranch that you could dip your pizza in. And then the last one was freaking like seasoned honey, and it was incredible. And that's like my food for thought hot take is pizza with seasoned honey. Oh my gosh, dude, it was game changing.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my food for thought. Like, try
do that next
honey
time out there
on pizza. Yeah. I mean, you might be coming out soon. You said, right? So
yeah, I still have to hear back. My dad just got back from Texas, so
you have to come out to Pitfire. We'll do Pitfire Pizza in NoHo. Yeah,
but no, there's something else. Oh, so this is kind of bad for me because I love chicken. So there's a Chick-fil-A that really opened up.
Oh yeah. That's good for you.
Tell me about this. Dude, no, it opened up 3 days ago. I went once for the past 3 days. So
that's not too bad.
Like once per day. Like I've
what?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just say it like that.
Gosh.
Yeah, dude. Like, oh man. Like I've gone 3 times in total, so it's been a lot of chicken. It's so good, and it's like just maybe because we're talking about sauce, made me think of the Chick-fil-A sauce, right? And oh my gosh.
I have a bunch of other. I really like this food for thought segment because I just love talking about food. I have like a couple other lined up, so keep dropping your food for thought suggestions, and we also have some more that we'll do. If you like this segment, let us know. If not, let us know, and we might do it less, but maybe not.
Should we drop off like a prompt? I feel like that'd be good for the comments.
I wanted to hear the tomato sauce versus barbecue sauce, what people think, because I don't know if Zach Henry said what they were on in the comment, but I also want to know that honey on pizza question. Like, has anyone tried that? And are you a fan or not? Because, like, I didn't really hear about it till I moved out here to LA, and now that's the second pizza place that's done it, and it was so good. So, yeah. What was your prompt?
My prompt was going to be, what is your favorite Pop-Tart? We're not going to answer this time.
Oh.
We're going to let other people in the comments, whatever, say what their favorite Pop-Tart is.
So answer any of those 3. Ketchup versus barbecue sauce, honey on pizza, and favorite Pop-Tart.
Yep. And then we can talk about that next time. So we have something loaded.
All right.
Like a loaded fry.
Ready for Patron? Oh, that's a whole nother discussion.
That's another one.
Ready for Patron shoutouts?
Yeah, hit me with them.
Cue the stars music. Boosh, got Patron Lori, Frank, Rick, Lisa, Evan, Tony. Thank you so much for pledging the tier. Thank you to the shout out. If you'd like to support us over on Patreon, the link is down in the description. You get the audio episode early, special benefits, cool perks, all that jazz and more. Sometimes we do like a discount on merch and stuff. Our merch store is actually turned a year old this month, so we're going to be doing a special 1 year discount, like 1 year anniversary discount. It'll be let's say 20% off. I literally came up with this as I was saying that, so I don't know, so 20% off. Use the code. What should the code be, Daniel?
Code Mando. I don't know. Can you control the code?
Yeah, I control everything. Well, it should be something like something with 1 year, so like
true, it should be chosen one. I don't know.
Sure, chosen one. It's I'll put it on screen for the video listeners, but it's CHOSEN and then the number 1. Yeah. So not spell out 1, but just the actual number 1. I won't put it on screen. Actually, I don't want to edit that, but I just spell it out. All right, maybe I will. Ready for cool comments?
Yeah, what we got this time?
I actually don't have any comments because I figured we could kind of treat this as post-banter since we did the food for thought as the comment. We had a lot has happened. I just kind of wanted to run through a bunch. So we had the Mario movie, like we talked about. Did you hear about Jonathan Majors? Like
all the drama and stuff going on with that? Well,
yeah, I think he was like facing charges like for domestic abuse, and there's rumors that he might get recast as Kang. His like talent agency dropped him. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but now I'm hearing all this stuff about where he's actually innocent and like all this other stuff. So,
well, I think. Oh, is that more recent? I heard that like his lawyers were like, "Oh, he's innocent," but then since then, like his talent agency dropped him, and more people have come forward. So I've heard it's getting worse, but I don't know. When did you hear that?
a day ago.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know. We'll keep you up to date with what we know. But anyways, there was also that Star Wars Celebration. Did you hear about the Rey movie they're doing?
Yeah, are they doing where it's like in the future?
It's like 15 years past Episode 9, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Like for how old she is, because she was supposed to be like 19 in Episode 7, and then Episode 9 was only a few years later. And Daisy Ridley is like not 19 or wasn't 19 back then. So like the age jump kind of makes sense. Like she's, by the time the movie comes out, it'll be probably about 15 years in world. I don't know.
Yeah.
And yeah. Oh, Moana live action. Did you hear about that?
No. I've been seeing all this stuff about Lilo and Stitch live action though.
So I have seen that, but freaking The Rock just announced, I guess he gave up on DC since Black Adam didn't work out, and now he's like, we're doing Moana live action. I'm Maui. So like, they're doing that now. It just feels like, bro, Moana came out like 7 years ago. Like, it's not been that long.
Was it really 7 years?
Yeah, it's just 2016. That was 7 years ago. You guys should see Daniel's face. He just like raced through everything.
Frick, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, I just turned 24.
I
Yeah, actually, this is the first podcast
year.
I'm recording as a 24-year-old. Woo! I grew up my beard to look a little older.
Dude.
Also, my friend left, so I was sad. That's why I grew my beard.
I'm gonna be 25 this year.
Yeah, it's funnier than 24. 25.
Literal mid-20s.
I feel like 23, you could still say you're early 20s, but once you hit 24, that's not really early. Like,
I count that as early 20s.
I wouldn't, because, like, what's the point of mid-20s? I would say 24 to, like, 26 is mid-20s.
Listen, technically you're right. You're talking numbers, but I'm not talking numbers. I'm talking about, a
state of mind.
Making me feel better, yeah.
I'm 16 forever. All right. You ready to jump into the introduction?
No, I say 21 would be a good spot. But yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Tell me when.
When?
We just talk about what we want to talk about? No, we're done.
Thank you so much for listening. We really sincerely appreciate it. We will be back next time. I'm not sure what's actually happening next week. I will look at the calendar and we'll figure something out. It feels good getting back into like a review with Amando here. But yeah, see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.